Noah Lyles won the 100-meter dash at the Olympic trials. But to be real with you, we should have seen this coming a while ago. He's not just the reigning world champion in that same event. He was also the fastest American man heading into the trials, and he even ran the fastest time in every single round along the way to the final. But everything I just said was only recent memory, because Noah Lyles was at the trials when he was just coming out of high school way back in 2016. Of course, that was in the 200-meter dash. But in case you weren't paying attention, he just barely missed making Team USA by getting 4th in the event. And for those reasons, the comparisons between him and Christian Miller now in 2024 make a whole lot of sense, because he was also a high school senior who showed up to the Olympic trials in the sprinting events, but this time in the 100-meter dash, and then made the final. He wasn't in 4th place, he was actually 5th, which is still dangerously close to making Team USA, which is not supposed to happen when you're only 18 years old and racing against the pros. And after watching the race go down, it really got me thinking, how fast do you actually have to be at the high school level in order to run the 100-meter dash and make the Olympic Games? Because the truth is that any American man who can make the Olympic trials final, specifically in the 100-meter dash, is clearly Olympic caliber. America just has so many fast men that we can't actually send them all to the games. So let's have a real conversation about how fast these men actually are. More importantly, how fast they've always been from the high school level till now. Because I know for a fact that there were just 2-star level recruits who came out of high school who eventually made this past Olympic trials in the 100-meter dash. That means they were just the bare minimum of good to compete anywhere in D1 when they were 18 years old. But remember, I said they were at the trials. I didn't necessarily say they were in the final, because everyone who has ever run the 100-meter dash wants to be in the Olympics racing for the gold. But only a few men actually have the talent to get all the way there. But if you're new here, I have to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best high school track and field recruits in the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section, because I try to read them all. The only way that made sense to me to answer this question was to break down everybody on the leaderboards who made the final in the 100-meter dash, starting from the man in first all the way to the man in last, but still in the final. And by the time I get to the end, it will be very clear just how fast you need to run on the clock in high school if you want to make it to the Olympic Games. Noah Lyles, of course, won the trials, and we already know that he's been running really fast for a long time. But most people don't know how fast that actually was. He didn't just show up at the trials when he was graduating high school. He would have been the top track and field recruit across all of the events in his recruiting class, but he didn't go to college anyway. But in case you weren't paying attention, he was the world junior champion in the 100-meter dash. So yes, Noah Lyles has always been faster than everyone else. So who are those people? Kung Fu Kenny Bednarek got second to him at the trials. But the real reason why I believe some people were doubting him coming into the 100 is because he's really known for the 200. And he's always been known for the 200. He was actually the fastest 200-meter sprinter in the high school recruiting class for 2018. That makes him a legitimate 5-star recruit. But he did still run 10.4 in the 100-meter dash. As far as I'm concerned, you can't really judge him off of that, because he didn't run the 100 all that much. He ran the 200 and the 400. And yes, he broke 20.5 in the 200 in high school. I bring up the recruit rankings for those two men, not just because I'm the guy who does the high school recruit rankings right now, but because when you are a 5-star recruit, you gotta know what it really means. It's essentially pointing out to college coaches, not just that you're fast, but really close to your full potential. The type of potential that would put you in the Olympic trials final. For that reason, a real 5-star recruit should be winning things in college immediately. Noah Lyles didn't even go, and Kenny Bednarek won the JUCO National Championship, and then decided he was going to turn pro after, and he never looked back either. yet Fred Kerley was third, and the final qualifier in the 100 for the Olympic Games. And he's also unique because he didn't really have a whole lot of stats at the high school level for me to dig up. But he did climb his way out of junior college. And the moment he got there, he looked like a legitimate 4-star recruit in his first races. He really ran the 400 and the 200 back at that moment. But the times he was putting down tells us that he clearly could have ran at least 10.4 while he was a freshman if he wanted to. All that being said, Fred Kerley never took the 100-meter dash seriously until after he graduated from college anyway, which means he was really underachieving anytime he ran a short sprint race till that moment. And Christian Coleman got 4th, which I'm sure is disappointing for him. But in the 100-meter dash in high school, he did break 10.3 seconds. But after all that, when you look at his report, he was really just a high 4-star level recruit, but not a 5-star. But now he's the collegiate record holder in the 100-meter dash and the world champion, and he's likely still going to be in Paris anyway, running on the 4x1 relay. At this point, I think it would be a good time for me to tell you the rule, that for the rest of these men, you're probably going to need to be a 4-star recruit or better, but let's see how it shakes out. Because 4-stars are not quite as good as the 5-stars while they're in high school, but that's not because their potential is much different. It just means they haven't unlocked it all yet, and they're going to need a coach, normally in college, to help them get there. Yet Christian Miller was 5th, and we already know how good he is. He's the #1 track and field recruit for the recruiting class of 2024 across all of the events, because he's the only one who got to the Olympic trials and could make a final when he did it. And Courtney Lindsey was behind him, who is another former NCAA champion, who is also a mid to high level 4-star recruit from his high school career. And in case you didn't guess it yet, he ran 10.4 in the 100 at the high school level. Brandon Hicklin is interesting because he would have been a low 4-star level recruit just as a sprinter, but he wasn't just a sprinter, he was a jumper while he was in high school. He really never took sprinting seriously at all till the back half of his college career at LSU. So it makes sense that now that he made a change, he's running the fastest times of his life, and also some of the fastest in the world. But he beat Kendal Williams, who was the world junior champion in the 100-meter dash back in 2014. I shouldn't have to say a whole lot more than that for you to know just how good he actually is, but I'm gonna say it anyway, because he beat Trayvon Bromell when he went to that meet. And Trayvon Bromell wasn't in high school anymore either. He was the NCAA champion as a freshman that year. But Kendal Williams took him out. So that's how fast he is, which is legitimate 5-star recruit territory. But right behind him was J.T. Smith. He was the last man in the final at the Olympic trials. But he was also a football player who started off in junior college and eventually made his way to Division II, where at that moment he found his way back onto the track, taking it seriously now, and became the D2 national champion. Simply put, every single man in that final was a solid 4-star recruit in high school. They either broke 10.5 in the 100 or probably 21.3 in the 200, and that is even if it wasn't their main event at the moment. Fred Kerley is really the only wild card on this list, because at the high school level, he really didn't have many stats for you to go off of. But it only makes sense that he was really fast before he got to college, because when he got there, he was running really fast from the first moment they put him on the track. So congratulations to Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarek, and Fred Kerley, because they are now America's fastest men, with a chance to go to Paris and prove that they are also the world's fastest men, because they're doing it during the 1 year that winning actually matters to most casual track fans. But what I'm also saying is that we really should have seen it coming if we were paying attention, because their dominance at the high school level was proof that fast is legitimately a lifestyle, one that is incredibly hard to catch up on later in your career. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.